ideology of resistance is being magnified 100-fold with every bomb that's dropped on Gaza. Rather than defeating Hamas, Israel is expanding Hamas. Hamas has taken over in Turkey. It's in the United States in the streets. People are coming out in support of Hamas. People are starting to recognize Israel for what it is, because Israel no longer has the smooth-talking, well-educated con artists who would sell Israel as an extension of America, a democracy just like America, the same values as America. They're not even pretending that right now. They're putting forward generals and politicians who are saying things that if you eliminated the term Arab and Jew and replaced it with Jew and German, these speeches being given by Israeli is the same thing that Nazi Germans were saying in the 1930s and early 1940s, the exact same thing. And the world is seeing this. This is unfiltered. Israel is not like us. It is not a democracy that has as its principal reason for existence political Zionism, which allows Israel to behave as if they are the chosen few from God, exceptional people who have an inherent right to oppress those who get in the way of the creation of a greater Israel. I am an American, and in America, a fundamental principle is that all men, and now by extension, all women, are created equal. There is no supremacy attached to Christian, Muslim, or Jew, or atheist, or Buddhist, or any other religion out there. All people are human. All men are created equal. And yet Israel operates on the premise that Jews are superior, that Jews are the chosen ones, that Jews have a covenant with God to come to the Holy Land, and anything is allowed and tolerated if it fulfills that, to include the oppression of the Goyim. And that is a term that is being used more and more in Israel today. Goyim, that means, it literally means an animal, a subhuman. The Israelis treat anybody who's not in favor of a Zionist state as animals. You know who else speaks like that? Stepan Bandera and his Ukrainian nationalists are the same thing about the exceptionalism of Ukrainian nationalism and the subhuman status attached to Russians, to Poles, to Jews. But we weren't allowed to say this because you couldn't speak out against Israel like this. Right now, we don't have to say anything because Israel's actions speak for themselves. The world is seeing the reality of what Israel is, and the world is standing up. As we speak, the General Assembly is coming together, and I hope they're going to act in the spirit of 1956, when the Security Council was frozen over the issue of the Suez Canal, and the General Assembly, with America's blessing, came forward and impose its will on the international community, because the General Assembly has that power. And it is time for the General Assembly to take control of this situation and condemn Israel and punish Israel for the genocidal activities. You cannot have an Israeli ambassador in the United Nations criticizing the Secretary General of the United Nations for calling Israel out for what they are. If anybody's to be expelled from the United Nations, it is the Israeli ambassador and the nation of Israel. And if they're not careful, people like me who believe firmly that Israel has a right to exist and that Israel must be defended regardless of the criminal policies, you're going to lose me, Israel. And when you lose me, it's over for you. Because when I flip to the other side, everybody else is going to flip. Because I used to be a very close friend of Israel. I used to stand with Israel. I used to be on their side, and they have lost me.
It seems